Hello and welcome back to Teal House Farm. I know. And today, oh, you can't drink that. And today, Pat and I are going to show you 5 ways to use lemon peels. So we got 2 bags of lemon peels here. The lemon actual citrus fruit has already been removed. These are from some friends. They turned 10 pounds of lemons, I believe they said at 5 bags. These are 2-pound bags, so 10 pounds of lemons, into lemonade. So they've already scooped out all the citrus fruit, and what's just left is the peels. And they asked if I could use them, and absolutely. Lemon peels are quite useful around the home, and I'm going to show you 5 ways to use these leftover peels in practical ways around your house. So today we are going to make a cleaner. We are going to candy some lemon peels for a snack. We're going to make some potpourri. We're going to dehydrate lemons for lemon zest. And lastly, we're going to freeze some lemons, and we'll show you how we use lemons and salt to be a really good scrubber for stainless steel pots and pans that you may have accidentally burned some food on. This is a great way to clean them. So Pat here wants to help me. So we're going to get started with the easiest things first. We're going to go ahead and make some lemon-based cleaner. How many do you have?
1, 3.
3?
Now I have 2. 3.
Let's see what we do with this.
Do you want a sharper knife?
Thank you. Oh, hang on. All right, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to take these halves and we're going to cut them into smaller pieces.
3. Mommy.
This just helps us be able to fit more in the jar.
5.
All right, Pat.
5.
Thank you. 4 and 5. Put these in the jar. We want to pack them in tightly, and then we're going to cover them with some white vinegar at 5% acidity. You can use a higher acidity, like a 10%, but I wouldn't go less than 5. If you're looking for a higher acidity vinegar at the grocery store, it's going to be in the cleaning aisle. It will not be in the food aisle.
Mama.
Keep going. You're doing great.
What is that? Mommy, here you go. Soil.
All right. Press. All right, we're going to press them down. Press them down. Can I press them down? Keep going. Press them harder. All right. Good. We can fit more in there now. We want to pack it.
Look, Mikey will do it. Look, ready, look.
Good. Now we're going to top this off with vinegar. So I have this little bit left. You want to help me? Pour it in. Good job. We'll finish off this jug. Okay.
How do they get so good with the juice?
We want to make sure we cover the lemons all the way, because if anything is above the vinegar line, it will rot. All right, Mikey, could you get me a ring and a lid for this?
What's it going to be?
So this,
Mommy, the water.
it's vinegar. Ooh, it's not going to taste good.
Ew.
Yeah. Lesson learned. This will sit on the counter for 2 to 3 weeks, and then we will drain out the liquid. Thank you. Oh, wrong size. We'll drain out the liquid, and then we will add an equal part water to the vinegar lemon tincture, and that becomes a great cleaner. And I use this too. I refill my Swiffer wet jet container with it. You can put it in a spray bottle and use it to clean counters. Vinegar is naturally antimicrobial. In a minute. Vinegar is naturally antimicrobial, and with the lemon sitting in here for a few weeks, it's really going to make the vinegar smell less apparent. It'll have a nice lemon scent, so it becomes a very affordable cleaner that you can use for your home. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we are going to dehydrate lemon peels. I dehydrate orange. These are actually mandarin peels, but it's the same idea. And I keep them in a jar, and I use these for potpourri, which we can use the lemon peels for. I also use these for cooking. I add them to the crock pot with some orange marmalade and some chicken, and it makes like a Chinese style orange chicken. It's really good. So with the lemon peels, we are going to dehydrate them. And we can use the dehydrated peels for making potpourri, which I'll show you in a minute. And then we can also use them, you could use them in tea too. And we can also use them for making lemon zest that we can save until we have a recipe that needs it. Because usually when you need lemon zest in a recipe, yes, buddy. Usually when you need lemon zest in a recipe, you need a very little bit. And so you end up buying a lemon and scraping a tiny bit of it. So by dehydrating it and making it in advance, you don't have to buy that one lemon when you need it for a recipe. So we're going to get started here. We're going to cut these lemons in half. This will just let them lay flatter on the dehydrator so we can get more on there. And don't worry about removing the blossom ends. They can stay on there. And if there's any leftover citrus peel on the inside, that's totally fine too. And I also kind of break them so they lay really flat. And the weight of the trays will also make them lay flat as well. We did 3 trays of lemons and the girls wanted some dehydrated bananas, so we used our 4th tray for that. And we're just going to plug it in and let it go overnight. Alright, so we've used up one bag of the 2, and here's the last bag. So we like to use citrus peels for freshening up the house because it's really cheap. And so I'm going to take a couple of, not all of them. Here, ready? Put that in. We're going to put in a couple of our dehydrated orange peels. Sure. Okay. And then once the lemon peels are dehydrated, we can do this with them too. One more. But it also works fine fresh. So we're going to add them to this big pot of water. Here, put these in. Something else that adds really well would be grapefruit peels. You can also dehydrate those or use them fresh. And one more. All right, one more. Or mint, if you have any fresh mint from a garden or dehydrated mint that you've made. You could also probably add essential oil, a couple drops as well. I'm not sure if essential oil will hurt a stainless steel pot. That I don't know. But we don't need it because these orange peels and these lemon peels are going to be plenty flavorful. And we're just going to sit it on top of the wood stove here. There's a couple benefits here. First of all, the wood stove makes the air really dry. And so, okay, thank you. So putting the pot on top of the wood stove is going to help add moisture back into the air. All of our hair is super staticky like that because of how dry the air is. And so this will help keep that under control. And then also the lemon and the orange peels adds a nice scent to the air. So the house is going to smell fresh without any chemical air fresheners. Or even if you're not worried about what air fresheners are made out of, it's expensive. Even if you just use essential oils in a diffuser, it's still really expensive. This is basically free because you're buying the fruit for something else, and normally you would just throw the peels away, and now you're repurposing them and giving them a useful purpose and not having to spend any money at the store for any sort of air freshener. Okay, so now we're going to make some candied lemon peels for a treat. This is a little bit of a process, but they're pretty good. And so we're going to save just 5 little lemons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for our last project, which is the lemon scrubbers. And we're going to make the rest of this bag into a special candy treat. One thing I forgot to mention is we did wash these, so you do want to wash them before you use them. But what we're going to do is we're going to take the lemon peel and we're going to cut it into strips. And then basically the only other ingredients we need are water and sugar. Now lemon peels are pretty bitter, and so we're going to have to boil them a couple times to make the candy. So we'll show you the process. We start by cutting the lemon peel into strips, and we'll toss the blossom end just over our shoulder into the little smell good mix behind us. We don't want to dehydrate that. And I also peel off any leftover citrus on the inside. It peels out just like you're taking off a Band-Aid. Pretty simple. So all we have left is the peel and a little bit of the pith. Once we get all the slices chopped, Isla puts them into a pot of water. She doesn't want help, which is why she looks a little cranky because everyone keeps coming over and tries to do it for her. But we get the pot filled with all of our peels, and then we add a quart of water on top. Then we're going to put that on the stove, bring it to a boil for 1 minute. Then we're going to drain the water. And then we're going to put the peels back in the pot and cover with about a quart of clean, cold water. Put that back on the stove, bring it to a boil again for another minute. Then we're going to drain it again. Put the peels back in the pot again and cover with another quart of clean water. And repeat that one more time. So boil 1 minute and drain. And this last time, we aren't going to put the peels back in the pot. We're going to leave them to the side for a minute. And in our pot, we're going to add 2 cups of cold water and 2 cups of sugar. Mix it together and warm it up until the sugar is completely melted into the water and it's clear. Then you're going to add in your peels and bring to a boil and simmer about 15 minutes until the whites starts to turn translucent. Then we're going to pull the peels out. Put them on some waxed paper and let them air dry for a few hours so they aren't sticky anymore. Once they aren't sticky, we'll toss in some more sugar and put in a jar.
That is good.
Okay, for the final thing, we have our final 5. So to grab a stainless steel pot. Unfortunately, I do not have a super dirty pot here, but I'll kind of show you the idea. So you take your lemon peel circle. We're going to break it so we can kind of turn it inside out. Here we go. We'll break it so we can get to the center. Add a little bit of salt. And then it becomes a nice abrasive but safe scrubber for your pan. So I can't really show you how well it scrubs because I don't have a dirty one and I don't want to purposely burn something. But you can Google YouTube videos of it working. But I can show you that it does not damage the pot. So I scrubbed it and rinsed it really well. There's no damage to this pan like might happen if you use steel wool or something like that. And it also smells really lemony fresh. So this is a great way to get burned or seared food off the bottom of a stainless steel pot. We're just going to keep these in one of these silicone Ziploc baggies in the fridge, or excuse me, in the freezer so that they last a really long time. And then when we need one, we can pop it out, add a little salt, and do some scrubbing. So we have 4 out of our 5 done. We have to wait till tomorrow for the peels to finish dehydrating, and then I will show you how we use that to make powder, to make lemon zest, and how we use that in recipes. So let's fast forward to tomorrow. Okay, this is about 16 hours of dry time. Micah here is going to show you exactly how dry these are. Go for it. Very dry. So again, that was 16 hours. This particular dehydrator, this is a very inexpensive one. I'll link it below. We already ate the whole tray of banana chips before we even turned the dehydrator off. So those are gone, but we have 3 levels of the lemon peels. And this one does not have a temperature setting. It is just on or off. And it took, I believe I said 16 hours is what it took. I basically plugged it in about dinner time, a little bit before dinner, and then it ran overnight is what we did. But now let's show you how we store these and how we turn them into zest. So for storage, we're just going to add another jar. So these are the oranges, and I'm just going to grab another quart jar, and we're going to have a jar of lemons. There's what we have left, basically 1 tray. There's a couple extras up here. We'll add these all here. So what I do to make lemon zest for recipes is I actually turn this into this, which is powdered. And I just run it through either a food processor or a bullet blender. You have to be a little bit patient. These are pretty hard, and it can help if you crack them first, meaning like break them into smaller pieces like that, so that the blender doesn't have to work as hard. But we get it ground down to a powder and just store it in these little tiny containers. And then when you need some lemon zest for a recipe, you'll just take like a teaspoon of the powder and mix it in, and it works and tastes the same. And the nice part is this is going to be shelf stable. No, I'm not doing anything, I'm just talking. Sorry. And the nice part is that this will be shelf stable for, actually I don't really know how long. I usually use it up within a year. As long as it stays dry. You could also vacuum seal or put the small containers in the freezer to make them last even longer. But really, as long as they're dry, they should last a really long time. And then you have lemon zest whenever you need it without having to run out and buy a single lemon for a recipe. You already have it stored up from the lemons you already bought from those peels you were going to throw away, but now you've paused time and can save them for later. So I'm going to take the rest of these and grind these up in my blender. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.